I have a few questions for you. Have you ever felt that no matter how much good you try to do, that it's just all a waste of time, that's pointless, that you are working and working and doing all these good things, but no one is taking notice? And in fact, the blowback from your good work is becoming more than you can bear. If you've felt this way, you are not alone. I know there are a lot of people who are out there starting up new projects right now as we speak, because since they've been in lockdown, they have been thinking about what can I do to reinvent myself, to take my life back in my own hands. And some people have actually been showing lots of love and kindness. And even though they've been showing love and kindness at this time, it may not have been well received. And people are now starting to feel the strain of that, that work that they're doing and the lack of positive response that they'd hoped for. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at a true biblical example of someone who went through a very similar thing, where they worked hard, they tried to do something positive, and the blowback was so big they just wished that they were dead. Okay, and so what we're going to do, we're going to start off with this verse from Philippians chapter 4, verse 4 through 6, and it reads, "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." I know I went to verse 7, but hey, I slipped that in there for you. Okay? And so I want you to think about it. That says, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Now, I understand that in life, sometimes it's hard to just be thankful. Sometimes it's hard to be able to find a reason to be happy when all that's staring you in the face is that opposition, that blowback, the fact that you've been trying to do so much good and people just haven't been responding to that good in a positive way. And so when you're there, it's hard for you to say, Lord, what can I be thankful for? What can I rejoice for? And when you're in that mental state, it is so easy to then feel frustrated and to start snapping at people. Lord knows I've been there. I've done it myself. I'm not immune to this. And so what the Bible is saying is, even though you feel that way mentally, even though you feel like no one is responding the way that you were hoping they would, that they would be courteous or whatever, you have to do your best to just push through. Now, the question is, if you're a Christian, should you just be able to do it? If you really have the Spirit, if you really are on God's side, shouldn't it just come second nature to you? Now, that is a valid question. A lot of people think that you should just be able to be a robot and switch off your emotion. But unfortunately, we are human beings. We are filled and riddled with emotion. And since we have emotion, we will feel a certain way when we feel like our efforts are not being appreciated and when we feel like the blowback is so overwhelming. I want you to have a look at a very interesting character in the Bible. Let's flash back. We're looking at 1 Kings chapter 19. All right. Now, if you're there, you can go ahead and have a look at, I'd say maybe verse 20 or even verse 1. You can start at verse 1, but don't read just yet. Let me tell you the story. I want you to imagine a guy who has spent his life trying to do the right thing. He's put the ways of God in front of himself time and time again. And in fact, this time, he just recently had this huge victory. He challenged almost 1,000 people to a showdown. And in this showdown, people were saying, how do you expect to win? It's impossible. You're going to be able to deliver. I mean, we have almost 1,000 people and it's just you, and whilst they were over there trying to do what it is that they said they were going to do to be able to win this challenge, This guy just stood there and he just mocked them. He's like, seriously, is that all you got? Is that all you can do? And he says, I'll do you one better. Let me make it where it should be impossible for my thing to win. And he goes, and in a way, he self sabotages deliberately to prove that his God is the one true God. And as he goes to deliver on what he said his God can do, people were so amazed. They were like, there's no possible way that he should have been able to do this. And he still won by a landslide. Now, I'm not saying what the story is because I want you to read it yourself. Okay, I'm going to have all the details for that down in the description below. The Book of Kings, First Kings, is absolutely amazing. So read through that. There's so much good content in there. Oh my goodness, it's rich of great stories and lessons. But yeah, so as he wins that, the people who were on the side of the queen, they went back and gave her word that, he beat us. In fact, all those people who were opposing him, they were wiped out. And so when she heard word that he wiped out her people, that were representing what she believed in, when she heard that he had embarrassed her people and embarrassed her and had won the people back over to God's side, she said, may the gods deal with me if I do not kill you the way that you killed my prophets. Oh, I let it slip. I let it slip a little bit. Still read it. And so when he heard this, his victory, his high from winning melted away. And all he could see was the fact that now his life was in danger. This person who has ruthlessly killed people before is now gunning for him. And he is so depressed. He is so hurt at the fact that he was open, he was vulnerable, and now this thing is weighing against him, where he decides to walk a day's journey out into the wilderness. And he just finds a bush and lays there, wishing that he was dead. Now, I know you may be saying he's being a bit melodramatic. I mean, come on. Wishing that you were dead? Seriously? But let me break it down for you. The reality is, when we work so hard for the thing that we're passionate about, when we are putting everything we can, working, getting up early, staying up late, working all around the clock, using all our mental and spiritual capacity to try to make this thing work, and we find that the thing that we thought we were going to get, yeah, we got it, but the blowback was so huge, sometimes it feels like it takes away from the victory. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when you work so hard and you get to where you think you're going to get to, and then you receive this huge blowback, sometimes the blowback is so big, it overshadows the victory, and you no longer see that victory that you just had. And all you see is just this thing weighing down on you, this consequence coming to you, and you feel depressed. You feel as though all the things you have done has been a waste of time and that it's pointless even continuing. It's over. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when I work hard and I feel like I'm not getting the results I want to get, I feel depressed. I feel, just empty. I feel like I've wasted my time. I can relate to this story. And I hope that you can kind of see yourself in it as well, because as you see yourself in it, you can then see the promise that's coming. As he laid there, wishing that he was dead, God saw that he was, in a sense, broken. That he was completely just broken, depressed, deflated, at his end. And so he sent an angel to go and bless him with food and water. He did this twice, and he said, "Get up, let's go." And so the prophet made his way to the mountain where God usually dwells. And as he reached there, God asks him, Elijah, what are you doing here? And Elijah's in his emotions. He's in his feelings. I imagine him to be in his feelings. And he's just like, Lord, I am the only prophet left. I am the only one that is doing all this work for you. They've completely, ruined your temples. They've ruined your altars. They've killed all your other people who spoke on your behalf. And it's just me left. And now they're going to kill me too. And God hears this. God sees this. He sees how much this is weighing on him. And he says, do me a favor. I want you to go out to the mouth of the cave and watch as I pass by. Watch as the presence of the Lord passes by. And as Elijah goes to the mouth of the cave, he feels this massive wind come by and it breaks the mountain in half. But God wasn't in the wind. Then he felt this huge earthquake. But God was not in the earthquake. And he saw fire blazing from place to place. But God was not in the fire. God came to Elijah as a small, still voice, a little whisper. Then God asked him again, Elijah, why are you here? Elijah still repeats himself. Lord, look, I'm the only prophet left. They killed all the other prophets. I'm doing all this work and I'm the last one left. They're going to kill me too. They've ruined your temple. They've ruined your altars. What am I going to do? I'm alone. And God says to him, Elijah, you're not alone. What I want you to do is I want you to make your way back home. Make your way back. And as you're making your way back, you're going to anoint two people, Jehu and Elisha. They're going to do great things. And also, there are thousands of other people who are waiting because they've not bowed their knee to fake gods. You're not alone. I know you're not alone. So let's go. And I believe the point of this story is that in life, we're going to do great things. And yes, we will have some blowback. And even though we have those blowbacks, I want you to know that you're not alone. God is there. Sometimes we're looking for God to reveal himself in these huge ways to give us a sign that we're doing the right thing. We're looking for the wind. We're looking for the earthquake. We're looking for the fire. And God's not in those sometimes. Sometimes he's in that small, quiet whisper that lets you know, hang in there. You're not alone. You're doing the right thing. And you know what? I love that. I love that section, how God is in the whisper, because I go through that sometimes when I work hard and I do all these things and it doesn't go the way that I want to, and I get this blowback and I want to see a sign that I'm doing the right thing. And then I feel the presence of God saying to me, you're okay. Just keep moving forward. You're doing the right thing. Just keep moving forward. And I hope I hope this resonates with you as well. And I know deep down inside, you know what I'm talking about. You've been doing good. You've been working hard. You've been trying to change the world that you know. And when you feel burned out, when you feel tired, you do have that small, still voice that lets you know that you're doing the right thing. Don't give up. Don't quit. You're not alone. Keep moving forward. In Galatians chapter 6, it says, "Do not grow weary in doing good." It talks about sowing and reaping. If you sow according to the flesh, you will receive destruction. But if you sow according to the Spirit and you keep working for spiritual things, in God's time, you will receive the blessing and the breakthrough. And that's what we see here with Elijah. He was starting to feel weary, but God lifted him up. God encouraged him. And, that evil queen did not get him in the end. She did not destroy him. He ended up being with God in a completely different way. And if you want to find out how he ended up with God, continue to read the book of Kings. Continue to read the Bible to find out all the cool, interesting lessons in the story that's there for you. But I hope you are encouraged today. You have been doing amazing work. You have been doing incredible things to love on people and to move your life forward. But you're feeling tired. You're feeling weary. Don't worry. You will get there. You're not alone. Keep moving forward. I'm Rick Roberts, and you stay classy. Bye.